So what about all the other notes on the guitar? Now, generally speaking, the C major scale on a piano is made up from all white keys in this order, starting from the middle C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now, I always like to talk about piano in relation to guitar when you're first getting started, because a lot more people have seen the way a piano is laid out and the way there's black keys and the way there's white keys. It's a familiar thing for all of us. But when we look at the guitar neck, at first, it may seem like we're kind of lost. And I try to think about learning guitar, it's like moving to a new town. You have all these different streets, you have all these different cross streets, right? And you need to get out there and kind of find your way around town. That way, if you want to go to the store or if you want to go buy a new guitar, you know how to get there. And you can put the things together in a way where you don't always have to drive up the street all the way to reach this position. You might come down here and still reach the same position. Now hang on to that idea as we go a little deeper into this. Since everybody has the alphabet memorized, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? We know that. So let's start with that as a basis of learning all the notes on the guitar. All you need to learn is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There's 7 major components. Now, we learned about elephants and dogs got big ears, right? And then you learn A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's everything you need to know on guitar. Within those 2 different parts, every part will intersect that we'll be talking about in future lessons. So check this out. Here's what the notes are laid out like on the guitar. Starting from A, it would read like this: A, B and C, D, E and F, G. Now you may be asking yourself, what is the empty spots there? Those are where sharps or flats are going to go. This is what a sharp looks like. And this is what a flat looks like. Sharps and flats are the symbols that go between whole steps. Half steps don't need those. Try to think of a sharp as a mountain peak. It has sharp edges on it when you look at the symbol. And try to think of a flat as a flat tire. It's going down, right? You lost all the air. Bummer, dude. So sharps and flats, sharp, flat. You're raising or you're lowering. That's a good way to remember this. Now we're going to create a full 12-note chromatic scale by filling in the blanks with the addition of sharps. This is what it would sound like on the guitar, starting with your A string open and climbing up the neck. A sharp, B and C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E and F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and then we land on A again, which is the octave of A. So let me explain something. There's another real trick that'll help you tie this together. Did you notice that B and C are right alongside of each other? And the same goes for E and F. B and C and E and F are always right alongside of each other and don't require any flats or sharps between them. And that's why when you think about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B and C are together, D, E and F are together, G, and the whole thing starts over. And the circle just goes around in circles like this. As circles go around in circles, like that, like that, like that. That was a lot of circles there. A whole step is when it skips from one fret to the other. Whole step and half steps. Whole step, half step. Or from this position, that would be a whole step, that would be a half step. Here's some examples of half steps. A to A sharp is a half step. D to D sharp is a half step. B to C is a half step. And here are some examples of whole steps. F to G is a whole step. C to D is a whole step. And G to A is a whole step. So what does all this mean? What are we getting to? Don't get cluttered down by all these numbers and letters that we're throwing out, this is going to make sense to you. It's going to be really easy to grasp, and if you need to pause and revisit any of these parts, just click on one of the links below. It'll take you directly to that part in the lesson. All right, now let's take a look at the chromatic scale laid out with sharps and flats added to it. Why are there sharps and flats on the same scale if they mean the same thing? Because you'll notice that A sharp and B flat are the same thing. D sharp and E flat are the same thing. So what's the point of this? On a higher music theory level, there are several reasons for this, but generally speaking, when band members are talking about traveling up the neck, they talk in sharps, and when you're traveling down, they talk in flats. If you're playing A and you move down a half step, that's A flat. But if you're playing G and you move up a half step, that's G sharp. Now you can just call everything sharps or flats, it's up to you. You'll understand the concept. For now, just know that the sharps and flats don't apply between B and C and E and F. So that's the only thing you have to remember now. B and C, E and F, elephants and dogs got big ears. Now it's all going to start coming together in the end of this lesson here.